Navigating the transition from full-time employee to contractor with a clear understanding, it has its challenges. But there are some rewards that may or may not be worth it. Yet, you still need to know what you're willing to go after and what you're willing to leave behind. In today's episode, I plan to do something different here, family. If you're new to the channel, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, that just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework, And those 8 points, my goal, my dream, my mission is to unpack today's title, which is entitled Thinking of Transitioning from Full-Time Employee to Contractor? Hey, let me give you my thoughts. Again, you're thinking about making that transition from full-time employee to a contractor. Do you mind if I give you my thoughts? I remember the first time I had a contracting opportunity, a contracting role in project management. I was excited. I was excited because I was going into a new organization, and I was excited because of the opportunity. It was a big project that I was going to be a part of. And so I come in all excited and ready to go, and I'm like, okay, what have you guys done so far? So I can pick up from there, and we can move forward, from that point on, and bringing in all the stakeholders. Like, we haven't done anything. That's why we hired you. You are the expert. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not the expert. I don't know your business yet. I still need to get up to speed in your business and understanding what your business is and what the direction is. You see, family, one of the things I want to park there real quick, family, one of the things that I had to learn about when you step into this thing of being a contractor, the expectation, which at that time I was so green and naive that I didn't know it. But I get it now. If I was to hire a contractor, I would have had the same expectation that this organization had. And what they had is that they had the expectation was you are the subject matter expert. You're supposed to be coming in here guiding us. This is your specialty. This is what you do day in and day out. But there is a but. The but is that when you navigate into different departments, meaning that, for instance, I told you I've done IT for so many years, I think more than a decade, and I've also done financing, I've also done other aspects, but uh, in this particular opportunity, it was more finance driven, and so I didn't have all the background information that you normally would get if you were a full-time employee, basically the time that you would have to get up to speed. One of the things that it bothers me, even though I'm about to say this, it's funny how all of this is coming back as I'm talking about it. But one of the things of the expectation is that the expectation, if you decide to be a contractor and you are, again, you're considered the expert, that you need to come in and hit the ground running. Oh, it makes me even cringe when I say that. The reason why I say that is there's no way that you could come in hitting the ground running. The reason why is you have to understand your stakeholders. The reason why is you have to understand the organization, meaning their values, their principles. The reason why is you have to understand the governance of what type of governance they have. Do they have a PMO? Or if they don't have a PMO, how are projects stage gated? Or are there even any stage gates? So there's so much you have to pick up in a short amount of time. That's why it takes us to point number one. You need to identify your motivation. Like, really, we always keep this actionable. Write down what your professional goals are. This is one thing I wish I would have done when I did my first contract in project management, that I wrote down what my professional goals are and how this contract can help me achieve them. Here's an example. If my professional goal was, let's say at that time, probably would be maybe to get more experience in the finance space, that's a great goal. How am I going to go about getting that experience? So how am I going to get exposure to certain aspects of finance to help me better lead these finance projects better? So family, I challenge you, identify your true motivation, because if you don't, you go in there, you're going to be frustrated because there's going to be a lot of expectation that is already put on you, and the client is going to be frustrated because based off your resume, based off your experience, there's a certain expectation. But again, it's it's challenging to put someone in that position and them not understand the stakeholders or the governance of how projects are led. So again, you're going to have to get up to speed very fast. Family, I'm very excited. March 9th, Saturday, March 9th, if you're watching this, the Magnetic Project School, Manager School will be live. Again, I am building out assets as we speak. I have not uploaded anything there. So if you go there, it's going to look bland. But trust me, pretty soon we will on March 9th. That is the expectation. I think I want to go live either March 9th or 10th. I'm still going back and forth with the see what makes sense for everybody. So we'll make that decision. But again, we'll go live and we'll talk more about it. All right. Matter of fact, some of you are watching this video and many other videos. Y'all haven't hit that like or subscribe. Do your boy a favor. Hit that like and subscribe. It don't cost you anything but a like, subscribe. All right, back to the channel. All right, point number two, financial planning. Family, I'm being transparent here too. These are some of the things that I wish I would have known when I first got started. I probably should have said that. Some of these things I'm sharing with you, I really didn't know until I had a chance to experience it. And I wish someone would have made a video like this or some type of audio like this that really gave me a high level that allowed me to go do my homework or maybe work with them from a mentor standpoint to understand, hey, I'm coming into my first contract. What should I be looking for? That would probably have been the better route to go. But here, let's continue on. Point number two, financial planning. Listen, normally on contracts, you're looking at the contracts I've experienced is anywhere been from 3 months, 3 months, 6 month, 9 or 12. And normally it's average normally around about a 6 month contract, which normally, the client makes a decision to renew. But one of the things I wish I would have done is understood the basics of being able to put money aside, maybe I say a 3 months, 3 to 6 months of monies aside or budget for, because again, with a contract, you really sometimes don't know. There's nothing set in stone. You're going to go the full 6 months or the full 12 months because there's a couple things. One of them could be that I'll start positive. One of the things that could be that you actually finish your project ahead of time, which is awesome. But then the flip side of that is that they decide to cancel the project or budgetary runs out for that actual project, and they may need to shift the finances that maybe would have that would have went towards it, additional finances that would have went towards it. They may shift it to another project because they didn't see any value in it. So again, you may be hired for that particular project, but if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you some really good opportunities of how you can navigate that if this happens to you. All right, point number three, understanding contractual terms. Family, when you get that contract from the client, please take the time to read it. If you don't understand it, find somebody that you could, if you got to go on LegalZoom or I don't know, find somebody to assist you, or attorney to help you. But normally I haven't seen a contract that the legality in the contract is so robust that you can't pick it up. Most of it is just saying what your rate is, how if things don't work out, they don't say things don't work out, but in case they may decide to make a different change, that you know that, hey, you will be let go the day of. So a lot of different things that you kind of already know that really transfers over as an employee. But there is some difference though. I will say there's a difference from an FTE, which we say full-time employee, as well as from a contractor. So all I can recommend is educate yourself, family. If you don't know, ask your network, ask be part of the Magnetic Project Management School, where you can connect with other like-minded individuals and ask them. So again, that's going to be key and huge for you. Point number four, what I would definitely recommend this. If you decide to go the contract route, again, like I said, the typical contract, 3, 6, 9, and 12 months, you want to start building out a portfolio, because this is going to set you above and apart from the rest of your peers who are going for other contract roles. If you're able to come in with a portfolio that will show, and when I say a portfolio, there are some things that you're not going to be able to show because you signed an NDA, or they may and the client may say, hey, we don't want any of that. So uh, find a way to outline a really good case study based off the information that you how you led a particular project. Okay. Point number 5, you are in the sales and marketing business now. So I say continuous sales and marketing. What you're going to want to do is make sure your LinkedIn profile is always updated, is always on point, that you're ready just in case. You want to engage with your network regularly. Also, you even might even want to consider creating yourself a website or a blog. Again, family, I don't care if you guys don't hear anything. These are keys. Like, I wish I would have saw a video on this. Like, hey, let me create a blog, let me create a website, and let me tell you why. If you don't mind, if I park here real quick and explain why. If you have a blog, you have an opportunity for the client to look at the type of work that you deliver, and they understand that you know your stuff. If you have a website, it kind of gives you a personal brand. It kind of looks like, oh, okay, this person does this. They are what they're actually living what they're talking about. So it really just basically this is what it is, family. It really gives you an opportunity to showcase your expertise. That's it. All right, point number 6. Another lesson learned in the process, but you're going to learn this here today. Learn to negotiate your rates. Woo! Okay, let me explain this to you because this one hit home for me. I didn't know what I didn't know, but what I learned was that everything is negotiable. It's negotiable. Reason why I say it's negotiable, what you have to keep in mind, family, when you do a contract, it depends. I've been in contracts where vacation is not included. I've been in contracts where vacation was included as part of your deal, but there's always room to negotiate your rate. But that is the conjunction here. You need to go do your homework. You need to see if you're going for a project coordinator role. You want to go out and look in your area, look in your state, look on the. I'm gonna give you real actionable. Go look on Indeed. Go look on go look on LinkedIn and see if you can find anything that's comparable and what that rate is going for. Some of them will publish it and some of them won't. But you need to get an ideal so when they come to you saying, hey, yep, we want to pay you X amount, you can say, hey, no, I was really looking for this amount. And they may budge and they may not. But again, you don't know. My mom would say, even my dad would be on the same thing. A closed mouth does not get fed, son. So all they could tell you was no. Or, hey, we're not going to be able to do it this time, maybe on the next contract. So be prepared to negotiate. You're like your own business. You have to have the ability to ask, because if you don't, then they're going to give you what's on the job board. All right, let's move on to point number 7. You want to prioritize client relationships. And what that basically means is you want to have an opportunity to get repeat business. So if a client enjoys working with you, you want to be able to see if there's an opportunity to work on any other projects that this client may have. And they're probably going to want to work with you because of the good work that you've done. So ensuring that you do, if your contract ends, the proper way to do it, if it ends on good terms, send a thank you letter to everyone to that hiring manager that actually brought you on board. Okay. Point number 8. One of the things you will have to plan for, and what I would recommend is if you have to experience this, even through your whole contract, you should be working on your craft. Even through and so basically, point number 8 is plan for downtime. There may be a week, 2 weeks, a month. Again, it's subjective. I've been at where it's been a month. I think the longest I've had was maybe about 3 months. And I had to plan for that. So what I was doing was working on my craft, picking up areas where I was weak at, and then I went and got a certification. I don't even know what it was. I think it's an agile or some type of certification. And the reason why is because I wanted to keep my skills sharp. I wanted to be ready when the opportunity presented itself. I didn't want the opportunity to be there, and then then it was presented to me and I wasn't ready. So plan for downtime if you take the contract role. And again, I said plan. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Again, I repeat, plan for it, but plan for downtime, but that doesn't mean that it's going to happen. All right, I want to give you a couple bonuses here because I really think it's important. First bonus is embrace flexibility and adaptability. Listen, family, one of the things that has happened to me in my career multiple times where I was actually working in one department. I got brought on as a contractor in one department, and when my contract was about to end, another department actually picked me up to work with them on a particular project. So you want to be open to new opportunities like that. The department that I went into was, I didn't even have any uh, I didn't know much about the department. I mean, I didn't even have a background in that area. However, the framework was still the same, meaning, initiating to closing when leading a project. So that was still the same, but I had to learn extremely fast, which, it pushed me. I was excited because I was excited that I was learning something new and I was actually getting to apply it in real time. So again, you want to be able to embrace flexibility and be adaptable. If it's something that may be a challenge for you and it's an opportunity, go ahead and see if it's worth it. I mean, I would rather take that than be sitting on the sideline waiting for an opportunity. You still could do both. You could take that opportunity, and if you think, it may not be a good fit, then go and get a new opportunity. All right. And the last bonus that I have for you, understand insurance. There's something called E&O. E&O stands for errors of omission. As a contractor, I would 10 times recommend you get errors of omission. And basically, from a high level, I may do a video on that, but I'll just give a really high level response. Errors of omission is if you saying something that can potentially come back and you now become a liability, in which you potentially can get sued. So errors of omission insurance is huge for you when you're a consultant and you're working contracts. Okay. I have three closing remarks, family. I hope this has really been good for some people out here that's thinking about doing, that's leaving, either thinking about going from full time to contract, or are looking for an opportunity and trying to make a decision. Should I do full time or contract? Listen, it's really going to be up to you. I want to give you the information so you can make an informed decision. Here's my three closing remarks. First closing remark: understand your contractual terms. Again, as I stated, normally the contracts that I've seen in my experience has been 3, 6, 9, and 12. I haven't seen anything lesser than 3 months. That's normally around the average that I normally see is about a 6 month contract. But again, it's subjective. Number two, learn to negotiate your rates. Go do your homework. Make sure you understand the position that you got an opportunity to take a part of, and understand if you can find any information out there on particular rates. Get with like-minded individuals. They may be able to guide you and say, yeah, for that position, what they're asking, you might want to ask for this particular number hourly. And the last and final point, you want to remain adaptability, have a adaptability and a flexibility about yourself, because the more adaptable and flexible you are, the more opportunities that you can apply for and that you can receive. So, hey, family, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. This has been very powerful because I know a lot of people are always trying to figure out, should I do contract? Should I do full time? I may just even do a video on what are the differences, what are the similarities of being a full time employee versus a contractor. But for now, I wanted to answer the question and give you my thoughts with some points and some research behind it. Until next time, this has been your boy ED. You know my motto. I'm out.